Ready to tackle Saratoga again today. Race is on the grass, which is all good. So get right into it. There's a couple of turf races that I want to look at. There's some horses to watch. I've been mentioning all my horses to watch. Some of them have just been in the wrong spot, so I kind of carry them forward. There was one of those yesterday. But we'll take a look at what we have today and see what we can shake out. Race number 3 will be a 1.16 on the grass, maiden allowance race. Good looking field. Okay, so there is a watch list horse in here. It's the 2 Umbria. Umbria was rank, I said rank, I guess keen is probably a better word, just in behind horses early on, but then he was allowed to settle after that. And I thought he ran okay, outran his odds a little bit, finishing third at 14-1. Maybe the extra ground, he gets an extra 16th today, will help. But there's a horse that he ran against in the same race who's back in here, the 4 Sandro the Great, who I thought far out finished him. Now, Sandro the Great does have an experience edge over Umbria, so that may equalize that. You could maybe give Umbria a little bit more leeway, and the fact that was his first grass race too. So this is a horse who has some upside, so I am going to include him on my ticket. But the 4 Sandro the Great, I thought if you just compared them head to head, this horse a little bit further ahead at this point, but he should be. He's had a lot more starts, a lot more experience. So maybe he isn't better. We'll find out after today. I will put both of those under my exacta, but the 7 Barrage is the one I think they have to beat. Barrage 2-1 morning line. He's likely to be a favorite in here. The last race in against Stakes Company, last 2 races in against Stakes Company. So finally back into a maiden field, and he's been running extremely well. Changing jockeys every time, not necessarily a favorite thing of mine, but the switch to Saez with Danny Gargan has been extremely profitable at Saratoga this season and overall. So it's like Gargan's just gone out and got his rider for this race. I like the 2 works since that last start. So for me, it's going to be 7 on top of the 4 and the 2. And I'm going to throw in the 5 Yarrow as well. I actually will probably put Yarrow in a couple of positions on top as well. This race back at Tampa, it was forever ago. It wasn't, there wasn't a lot of quality out of there, but that was so long ago. So just maturation, just, a few months later, a little bit older, I think that Yarrow is one that can improve. The fact that Irad is riding here, it hasn't been clicking much with Christophe this season. But some of these works look okay. I just don't want to leave a Christophe horse out like I did yesterday that could be improving on the grass. That's the reason that horse goes in. Race number 5, a 5.5 furlong turf sprint. This is a maiden allowance as well. I seem to be enjoying these today. And this is for the state bred fillies. So another watchless horse, and this is actually one that I quite like. It's the 4 Exact Change. I'll get to that in just a moment. The 3 No Pain, I think, is a big player in this race. No Pain getting Rosario. Again, he's sticking with this horse. He's being quite reliable to the filly and to Ray Handel as well. They do team up often enough to put together some favorable results. So I like that. I think that she has responded quite well since they added blinkers, and she just seems to be needing a little bit of luck. Last start, she was off a step slow. Now she's a kind of one of those, you can't get away too slowly in these quick sprints, so she needs to get the starts cleaned up a little bit. But I like the way that she finished willingly last time. So the 4 Exact Change, this is the 2nd time starter. This could be any filly. The fact that they entered her for claiming tag first out, it doesn't necessarily scare me off too much. They didn't pay a lot for her. She was kind of a modest purchase. And the first start was good. She did get bumped at the break, so we'll take a peek at that. Exact Change is the 3 horse here. We'll go right to the head on, because I'll show a little bit more than just the break. So let's start this over. So she's the 3. So she kind of, she broke a half step slow, typical first time starter break, and she did get hit. Now you can see her head ducking a couple times. She's just trying to get a feel for the course here. She's easy to follow because she's the one in the pink hat. You see that head going down. She actually dodged off of heels a couple of times too. So she's pretty willing, like she's pretty anxious. We can zoom forward here, not getting much further there. So coming down to the stretch. So you can see here, she's still, she's still doing her thing in the back. and is actually going to want to finish up quite strongly. I'll just let it play from here because this is a horse who should offer some value today. Now you need to judge this for yourself. I found it favorable. Pink cap bobbing in the back there. So looking for room here. They're fanned across. This is like a typical turf finish. But don't forget, this is a first-time starting filly who's being asked here, and she will actually pass a bunch of these horses, even though I never thought that she was overly comfortable on the way the track was. Really good finish though, you know, when she got going, you don't always find room there, but she did close up a lot of ground. So it's encouraging. I just talked forever about a filly who just might not be good enough to compete on this circuit, but we'll see. The 6 Escape with Friends gets on my ticket too. I am going to take the 4 on top. I'm playing the 4 on top of the 3 and 6. I'm a little bit against Calm Set. I really thought this was her race to win here. She was in a perfect position. She just didn't get it done. And now I'm not surprised to see an equipment change because you get to the point where you're like, okay, well, what did we even try next? The fact that Irad will ride back is good. He probably came back and said, put blinkers on, but I don't trust her. I don't trust her at all, and she will be a small price, but I think you have to consider her. Race number 6, the last one I'll touch on today, 7 furlongs, an allowance, a nom 1 for the fillies. And there's another watch list horse in here who's not getting played today, but I will mention it. For next time, it's the 10 horse Mosienko. Mosienko got bumped, had a wide trip, did finish up, but I just don't think that she's in the right spot quite yet, but we'll just throw out her name. I'm playing all 3, 6, and 7. I was trying to find my speed horse in here. That was, to me, the important thing in this race. I landed on the 3 horse Jamaican Joy. I'm hoping Saez just pikes her right to the front. He did that here when they were able to win. She's been, yeah, God, this last start was so bad, but this isn't what she's doing. She's going turf to dirt, back to a sprint. So the fact that she was forwardly placed here in a decent pace is good. So 3 for me, that's a great conditioning move. The 6 horse, Okay Honey, again, another horse I really don't trust. Her figures are good enough, but she's 3 for 50. To play this horse on top, I just couldn't take that leap of faith. I'll put her under the exactas though. I think the 7, I'm fine, is a major danger in here to be able to get the win. Just about last time, and Eric Cancel backboard. I'm hoping she can get away. I would pick her on top, but I'm not sure where she's going to be placed. It's a 7 furlong race. She does like the trip, so she's got that going for her. I just wish that she had a little bit more speed to get a little bit closer to the early action. So those are 3 races that I'm focusing in on today. Picking your spots, that's the big thing. That's what I do. I mean, I look at a lot of races. Now that I'm playing professionally, I look at a lot of races today. Every day I look at a lot of races and narrow it down to spots where I really think that I'm getting the best of it and that I have an edge. So pick your spots. It's the message of the day. Have a great day. It's Friday, payday. Have fun.